What is up, Ladder Climbers? Antoine Wader here from Elevate to the Unknown, the Way Reporter, NextGenHeights.com, and it is Monday, April the 20th, 2026, 7:25 a.m. Central, and we are live on the Daily Climb. 30 days. 30 days from today, on May 20th, Meta is cutting 8,000 people in the first wave. Up to 20% of the entire company could be gone by the end of this year. 16,000 to 20,000 jobs. While that clock starts ticking, a major Wall Street firm just posted the biggest quarter in company history. $5.57 billion in profit in 3 months. And on Friday, the CEO of a $41 billion fintech company went on the record with Fortune magazine and said he calculated the minimum number of people that he needed to run his business. You want to know what the answer is? 40% fewer than he had. The market is at all-time highs. Your job is 30 days from the list. Today, I'm going to break down what this actually means for your career, because this is not just a tech story. This is a workforce story, and the ladder climbers who understand the signal are going to position themselves different. Before the first wave hits, I want you guys to type May 20th. If you are watching the clock start today, type May 20th in the chat. Okay? Guys, this is the Daily Climb. I'm Antoine Wade. Let's look at the data. But before we look at the data, you know I got to say what's up to my peoples now. I got to say what's up to my peoples. I set the show up this morning at 6:32 a.m. this morning, and the first person that came on and flicked on the lights was Cam. The Life of Cam came in. Good morning, LCs. Good to see you, Life of Cam. Sarita came in right after him. Came in and said, you know what? I got to make sure I get to the show this morning. Make sure I help Cam with the setup in the morning. Sarita's in the house. Good to see you, Sarita. We got Omani K in the house. Good to see you, Omani K. Hopefully things are fantastic with you. I love to see you in the show. I love to see the name Omani K in the house. Big Suz came in directly after Omani K and said, what's up, guys? What is it that I can do? He came on, made sure that the floor was vacuum and everything. And then we had Seamus that came in. Then we had Listen More, Talk Less came into the house, and she blessed us with her presence on Saturday. Good to see you, Jamie. Who else we got in the house? We got Kachana SPS in the house. Good to see you, Kachana. I think that's my first time seeing you in the chat. Guys, make sure Kachana is welcome into the chat and that they have a fantastic time. We got STI in the house. Good to see STI. We got David Hill in the house who blessed us on Saturday as well. We got AR in the house. We got AOC in the house. We got William Wilkins in the house. Good to see you, William. Love to see you in the house. We got Brandon in the house as well, too. Brandon putting in the work. I'm telling you, you guys are going to see a billion-dollar company built by Brandon pretty soon. You got Latanya Sims in the house. We got Sean D. Nice in the house. We got Shannon in the house. Good to see you. We got Mr. Oliver in the house coming to us from Atlanta, Georgia. Good to see you, Mr. Oliver. Happy Diaspora in the house. We the Resilient Analyst in the house. Joe Spivey is in the house. Good to see you, Joe. Joe making some good food down in Houston, making that LIM system. Can I say LMS, but I meant LIMS. That's what I was talking about. Good to see you guys this morning. Let's go ahead and get into the data. It's going to be a fantastic show today. Welcome to all you folks who are new and just joining the show. Make sure that you come in, you get comfortable, and you announce yourself. Announce yourself in the chat. We don't bite. We make you feel welcome. Come on in, okay? All right, let's go ahead and jump on to the first couple of data points. Let me give you guys the 5 stories. The 5 stories that hit over the last 72 hours, all right? To get you guys up to speed so you have something to talk about today while you're talking to your buddies at work or when you're talking to your wife in the afternoon. Story number 1 is Meta. So this weekend, reports confirmed it, that May 20th, 30 days from today, that Meta will begin the largest single day layoff in company history. 8,000 people cut in first wave. That is roughly 10% of the global workforce. And senior leaders have been told to prepare for total cuts up to 20% by the end of the year. That's 16,000 to 20,000 jobs. It's a lot of people, guys. You know, that's harmful. You already heard Oracle going to do it. 20,000 jobs. Now, Meta could be doing the same thing. A lot of people have anxiety. A lot of people are fearful right now. Now, here's the piece that matters for every ladder climber that's watching this today, not just the Meta employees. Meta's engineering teams now have a mandate. Between 65 and 80% of committed code must be written by AI by the middle of this year. So let me translate that for you guys. If you are a software engineer anywhere in America, this is the new baseline. The machine does most of your code. The human does the judgment, the review, the architecture. You either lead the machine or the machine leads you out the door. God dang. That's what's happening today in the world of tech at some of these big companies. You lead the machine or the machine leads you out the door. I want to take you guys to a video real quick that I came across on the whole Meta situation that could be playing out pretty soon. This is first post. Meta's layoffs hit or may hit up to 8,000 roles. That's a first post video. Now, of course, this one doesn't have any people talking in it, but we're going to get to the video where somebody's giving their rough analysis. Let's go to Mark Savant. Mark Savant does a pretty good job at doing his walking and talking head videos, and I love him because he gets a chance to break it all down while he's on the walk in his sunny Florida neighborhood. Nice little neighborhood, green grass, looks clean right there. I love it. Let's listen to Mark Savant talk about the Meta layoffs.
Meta is laying off 20% of their workforce this year, and the first round of these layoffs are planned for May 20th. Guys, this will not be a small adjustment here in May. They plan to lay off 8,000 employees. That's 10% of their staff. And look, this should not be a surprise. If you've been subscribed to the channel, you would have seen this coming. We've been covering all the big layoffs, the impacts, how to stay relevant, respected, financially free. So again, if you've been subbed, this would not be a surprise. But listen to this. This is not going to actually be the end. There are more layoffs planned for the second half of this year. So we're going to see 8,000 here in May and probably another 8,000 more. But the specifics of the second layoff are less clear because executives are, quote, observing developments in AI capabilities.
Heard Mark said it. Mark said people shouldn't be surprised. Now, I know the ladder climbers in here aren't surprised because we be talking about this on a daily basis. We be talking about this to get you guys ahead of what's going to happen. All right. Mark Savant said nobody should be surprised. Well, I don't think many people should be surprised, but unfortunately they are. That's why you guys need to let people know about the Daily Climb Show because they get the latest and greatest on the news and what's happening today. This video right here was posted by Mark on yesterday. Okay. One day ago. This news drop by first post was posted on yesterday. Weekend. Brand new news. All right, let's go ahead and jump to story number 2, guys. Story number 2. The banks told us who was winning last week. That's what the banks told us, right? Last week was bank earnings season. You had Goldman, you had Citi, you had all these banks releasing earnings and they were doing fantastic. You even had JP Morgan Chase and you hear Jamie Dimon is stepping down. Okay. Well, the banks told us who's winning and told us who is losing. Morgan Stanley posted its biggest quarter in company history, $5.57 billion in profit. Up 29% year over year, a record $20.58 billion in revenue. Record wealth management, $8.52 billion, $118 billion in new client money. Bank of America, net income up 17%, $8.6 billion. Citigroup, net income 42%, $5.8 billion. Those banks are crushing it. Now watch this. Okay, now watch this. Wells Fargo stock dropped 5.7% on Friday. Why? We kind of talked about this. Many of you guys who are new to the show, you don't know yet. But the ladder climbers who actually listen on a day-to-day basis, they know why the stock dropped for Wells Fargo. The stock dropped because 40% of Wells Fargo's revenue comes from consumer banking. And they warn rising energy prices are squeezing the household, which means more loan losses are coming. People are upside down. If people aren't upside down, they're close to upside down. They're hurting. They're not doing so well. Although they may look like they're doing well, some people are not doing so well. And Goldman Sachs dropped almost 2%, missed their fixed income number by $910 million. Now, that story for Goldman Sachs is, one of those stories where it actually was a miss, but they actually did really well in other lines of their business. Okay, so the analysts may penalize them for that, but the real numbers are looking pretty good for Goldman Sachs. So Wells Fargo is really involved into consumer loans, and the consumer is being hit by what's going on right now in the macro environment. Same industry, same week, two different stories. The banks that serve big corporations, trading desks, wealth management for the rich, all the people who are invested into AI, or the people who are investing heavily into real estate, all this other stuff, they're doing fantastic. They're buying United Club memberships. They're buying premium class. They're buying Delta first class, and they're doing fantastic. The economy it's not anything to them right now. They're having a good time, spending money, going on vacations, feeling really good. Okay. You got these big banks representing these individuals with merger and acquisitions. They are winning. The banks that serve everyday households, though, energy squeeze families. Those banks are getting punished. That is the case split. That is the two economies that we're talking about. At the teller window, okay? That is the bifurcation. One side of the economy is investing into the AI, and one side of the economy is investing to the new world, and the other kind is still on the same was from 2020, and it is continuing to go down. And the people who make that shift to that new economy are going to be the winners. They are going to be the winners. Let's move on to this next story here, okay? Story number 3, the Fortune interview. The CEO of a $41 billion fintech company, guess who it is? Well, Jack Dorsey. He published a piece with Fortune magazine on Friday, and he said something that most CEOs will never say in public. Said it out loud. He said he calculated the minimum number of people that he needed to run his business. The minimum number of people that he needs to run his business. And the answer is 40% fewer than he had. That is 40% people cut. Just imagine that. He also admitted that every remaining employee now sends him a weekly email with their 5 top accomplishments. And then AI summarizes those emails for him. Let that sink in, guys. AI is reading your proof of work before your CEO ever does. Now, here's a signal. This is not one company. This is the new operating model. Minimum number of people, maximum amount of AI. If that is the math that every CEO is running right now, your positioning better start with the question, what is the minimum number of people my company needs, and am I one of them? One of the things that I've been telling you guys about in the Patreon, that man, this past weekend, this Saturday's Patreon call was fantastic, right? And one of the things we talked about was agents. Okay. I went to a December summit in New York City, and it was on AI. And they were talking about agents and agents and agents. And this was before OpenClaw. This was before, the Hermes. This is before all of the, tech agents came out and they were talking about agents and agents and agents. And I was like, what's the big push for agentic AI? But that was the buzzword, agentic. And then OpenClaw released. And then I started playing with it. And then I started setting it up for my business. And then I started to use it for sales. And then I started to receive better output or better outcomes. And now I completely understand why company CEOs are saying what they're saying. I want you guys to type minimum in the chat. If that question that I posed earlier, what is the minimum number of people my company needs and am I one of it, impacts you if it just landed? Type minimum in the chat. Okay? Type it in the chat, guys. Let's continue to move on here. Got another one. Story number 4, American Steel. This morning before the market opens, one of the biggest domestic steel producers in America reports first quarter earnings. Hot rolled steel is selling at $1,083 a ton, the highest price since early 2024. Here's what matters for every ladder climber watching this. American mills are running. Infrastructure spending is flowing, and the trades are hiring everywhere in Ohio, in Texas, in Arizona, the Carolinas, steel, chips, data centers, automotive plants, all of it. Here's what you potentially need to do. Follow the rebar. Follow the fabrics. That is where the paychecks are moving. Manufacturing is coming back to the United States. Data center building is coming back to the United States. All of that is coming back to the United States. It's coming back slow, not as fast as what our administration led us to believe, but it's definitely coming back. And I'm going to give you something specific, I can't even say it, specific salaries. I caught myself saying some specific salaries on this in a few minutes, okay? So that you guys can see how much money that you can actually be making in this industry. All right? Let's talk about Iran. As many of you guys have been watching this, we've been talking about it for quite some time. Story number 5. And this is breaking news here. All right? Iran just refused to show up. The second round of peace talks were supposed to happen in Pakistan today. The ceasefire is supposed to end on tomorrow, right? Well, Iran said no. Guess what happened to Brent crude? Up 6% this morning, $95 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate oil up 5%, $87 a barrel. Overnight, the U.S. Navy seized an Iran cargo ship. Marines have it in custody right now. The president posted on Truth Social that he said the U.S. will knock out every single power plant and every single bridge in Iran if they do not take the deal. The ceasefire expires on tomorrow, guys. Here's what the Philippines did. The Philippines have been impacted so much by the oil prices and the gas prices that the Philippines already moved their government to a 4-day work week to save fuel. Malaysia is thinking about doing the exact same thing. Gas in America is already over $4 a gallon, first time since August of 2022. That is the macro wild card, guys. That moves just about everything. Hiring budgets, Fed policy, consumer spending, your household bottom line. I want you guys to type drill in the chat. If the oil squeeze is hitting your paycheck, type drill in the chat. If you're thinking about cutting back because oil prices are too expensive, or airline tickets are too expensive, or gas is too expensive because you got a summer trip planned and you're planning on driving, now you might not do anything. Type drill in the chat. Don't be afraid if it's hitting you. Right? Some people are going to be like, I'm too rich. I got too much money. It's not impacting me. Oil prices are impacting everybody. Okay? It's impacting everybody. Now, before we go deeper, I need you to hear something real quick. All right? I need you guys to hear something. This is important. Pay attention. The 2026 Career Protection Playbook is free. It is a workbook that I created that has business intelligence translated into career strategy. And after everything I just broke down, Meta's 30-day countdown, the bank K-split, the minimum number of CEO employees that he says he needs, Iran refusing to show up at the table. Here's the thing. You need a system. You don't need a feeling. You need a system. And inside of that playbook, you find out your risk zone for AI automation. Are you in danger? Are you in the danger zone? Or are you positioning yourself to benefit from what's happening right now in this economy? You get the 5 skills that actually matter in 2026, not the 50, only 5. The ones that the data says employers are paying for right now. You get a 30-day quick start action plan, day by day, what to do, what to learn, what to apply for. You get a weekend action plan as well with 5 specific moves that you can do on Saturday or a Sunday. And you get the Daily Climb newsletter sent to you Monday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. Central. Everything that we cover in the show in your inbox every single weekday. The professionals who survive 2026 are not waiting for permission. They are building career insurance right now. That is nextgenheights.com/playbook. Link is in the description. It is $0, so there's 0 excuses that you don't pick it up. Okay. If you want it, type playbook in the chat. Cam will drop it in the chat. Okay. The link in the chat. Let's move on to the next segment, guys. I wanted to get you guys up to speed on what was going on in the macro world, and I think I did that pretty well this morning. Okay. Macro is important because it impacts everybody. Let's go to the 2 economies here. All right. Let me show you why all 5 of those stories are connected. I told you guys that all 5, they're connected. Here's the reason now. This is what I've been calling the 2 economies for over a year. This is why I've been using the term bifurcation. Because on one side, you have the builder economy. It's like all new. Now the infrastructure is being built, and it's being built around AI, manufacturing. Anything that's being built right now is the new economy. It's the builder economy. The builder economy is building AI systems, AI chips, AI infrastructure, AI agents. Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Citi, trading desk, investment banking, wealth management. Stock prices are at all-time highs. Capital is flowing in. And on the other side, it's the coordinator economy. Middle management, duplicate coverage, back office, consumer banking, entry-level roles that AI now does faster, cheaper, and better. Those roles are shrinking. And the gap between the 2 is growing every single day. Now, here's the part that you cannot miss. The co-founder and president of OpenAI posted this on X this weekend. He said this: AI has dramatically sped up software engineering. Now, of course, many of you guys are going to say, Antoine, tell me something new. Heard that before. You're right. You have heard that before. You've certainly heard that before. I'm not going to lie about that. We've been saying that for quite some time. Well, and he says this, and it is on track to bring that same transformation to every other kind of work that people do with a computer. Every other kind of work: marketing, finance, legal, HR, operations, customer service, sales, and accounting. Every one of those jobs is on the same track that software engineers were on 12 months ago. I want you guys to understand that this is coming. If it hasn't impacted you yet, it's coming for you. All right. Now I want to show you guys a video real quick. Let me see if I can get to it. About the AI transformation. Let's see. AI is replacing your job. The truth about white collar work in 2026. We're going to go to this one right here by that comments. Why AI won't wipe out all white collar jobs. And let's listen to this one.
Jobs rather than to erase them altogether. I think the proper way to think about this is that the future white collar office is going to look less like a robot and more like a cyborg, where AI and humans are jointly working together.
We've heard so much about an AI apocalypse. Where's your optimism coming from?
So I think it is useful to do two things. First, it's useful to actually look at the data and see what's happened over the past 3 years. And then second, it's useful to look at past technological revolutions and what happened during those. So if you actually look at the data over the last 3 years and what happened to white-collar jobs, you actually see that white-collar employment has increased by 3 million jobs, whereas blue-collar employment has stayed relatively flat over the first 3 years. Certain occupations that have often been casted as the victims of AI, think software developers, think paralegals, think radiologists. These are occupations that share a lot of overlap with the capabilities that AI can do, and yet we've actually seen that these jobs too have seen massive employment increases over the last 3 years. Software developers are up 7%, radiologists are up 10%, and paralegals have actually seen employment increase by 20% over the last 3 years. So there's been large employment gains, but then wages too. We see that white-collar workers continue to earn 1/3 more than blue-collar workers, which says that there is something distinct about office work that continues to command a wage premium over blue-collar work.
What has been the impact in the past of technological change?
We're going to stop it there. Okay? No, it's not doom and gloom, because many people say, Antoine, guess what? That's all you talk about is doom and gloom. Matter of fact, I sent an email out to many of the folks I've worked with over the past. News to the ladder climbers, the future, past, present ladder climbers. I sent it out over the last couple of days just to make sure I'm keeping up with everybody and seeing how things are going. And one of the ladder climbers say, Antoine, I watch a show every once in a while, but a lot of the time it's about doom and gloom. It's unfortunate that the data is telling you a story and it may not sound what you want to hear. That's your feelings. But the reality of it is the data is just the data. And that's what I'm here to tell you about. And here's what a top AI startup CTO told Business Insider over the weekend. It says the person who succeeds from here is someone who can specialize less, move up the ladder of abstraction. That is the opposite of what most of us were taught. For 20 years, we were told to specialize, get deep, become an expert in one thing. I even thought about that in my career. I was just talking to a buddy about that the other day. I was talking to Brandon, I believe. I forgot. I was talking to Brandon. I was talking to Andre, one of them. And because I talked to both of them last week. And one of the things that I was talking about was, I made so many changes within my career. Engineering initially, software engineering. Then I went to, project management and tech lead, and then manager of support, and then customer success, and then sales, and then leadership, right? I did all of it because I wanted to be well-rounded and I wanted to have a good sense of the business. And I had dreams of being a CEO of a company, right? Now I have those dreams and I still have those dreams and I'm actually executing it because I own my own companies, right? But the whole point of me saying that is, at one point in my career, I was told that I should specialize and go deep. And I even questioned that many times myself because a lot of people tell you, get very good. The people who are making the money are the experts in a certain area, especially consultants and that sort of stuff, right? Well, we're finding out right now that becoming an expert in one thing, that playbook is over. The new playbook is move up the ladder. Become the person who manages the machines, who owns the outcome, who connects across the silos. That's the new blueprint. I want you guys to type blueprint in the chat if you see this shift coming in your industry. Type blueprint in the chat if you understand this new shift. Now, before we go into the case studies, I need to stop for a second. If what I just said scared you or impacted you, okay? If you are sitting there right now wondering, am I in a danger zone? Is my role going to be automated next? Is my industry the next coordinator economy? Well, I built something for you. I built the career clarity audit. 2 tiers. Tier 2, $149. You get a full breakdown, your target roles, your positioning gaps, and a 7-day action plan delivered within 24 hours of you submitting the intake form. Tier 1, $79. You get your target roles and an action plan, a quick start. If you have been sending out hundreds of applications and hearing nothing back, the problem is not the effort. The problem is your positioning. I will tell you what employers in your space are actually looking for, what certs to stack, what companies are hiring right now, what your LinkedIn should say, all for either tier 1, $149, tier 2, $79. nextgenheights.com/career clarity audit. Link is in the description. Type audit in the chat if you want the link. Okay. Cam will send it to you. Now let's get over to the part of the show that I love the most, the case studies and the human impact. This is the part that I really, really love about this show because we get an opportunity to see the stories that impacts people. And the stories are the ones that we remember. Okay? The stories are the ones that we remember. Let me bring this to life real quick. All right? We got 3 stories. We got 3 paths all happening right now. Case study number 1, the general software engineer. I'm going to go to that one. Okay, there's a story out here. AI hits software engineers first. Here's what they want you to know. Engineer in this article, 8 years in the game, $130,000 salary. Back end, worked in infrastructure, product engineering, but never went deep on AI. Never learned the new tools, never built with Claude code, never shipped in the AI agent. This person is about to get caught. In the Meta playbook, 65 to 80% AI is written with code or written with AI code. Okay? 65 to 85% is AI written code. Because when the company needs fewer engineers, they are going to keep the ones who can drive the AI, not the ones who compete with it. So the pivot window is 90 days, guys. If you are somebody who right now who's an older software engineer or a middle-aged software engineer or a software engineer who wants to continue to work in the software engineer space, you got to have the automation and the code written by the tools. You just manage it. Okay? You got 90 days to pivot. Pick one AI specialization, ship one public project, update your LinkedIn headline, target companies that just beat earnings, post everything publicly. And I say post everything publicly because you need to be doing it. That's the only way you get the visibility these days. Otherwise, you're going to be sending a whole bunch of resumes and cover letters, which we think is terrible in the first place, into the abyss. Nobody's going to read them. Salary premium, $130,000 as a general engineer to over $200,000 as an AI specialized engineer. That is the ceiling. The data is showing right now. Not a guarantee. It is a target. Ladder climbers who are moving now are closing that gap in 3 to 6 months. Not sitting around waiting for a title change. That is the window the data says is closing. All right. Case study number 2, 4 founders in Los Angeles. See if I can go to this one. Find it up on here. This one does a Business Insider article as well under careers. Okay. I built an AI app with a tiny team. We scaled it to 2 million and sold it to MyFitnessPal in under 2 years. Here's how we did it. 4 founders in Los Angeles launched an AI calorie tracking app in April of 2024. 20 months later, they sold it to MyFitnessPal for millions. 4 people, no venture capital, just execution and speed. The 31-year-old co-founder told Business Insider this. He said, in the AI era, anyone can build a product, so our execution speed became everything. They went from one influencer partner to signing 10 a week to 160 active partnerships. They kept the team flat, no middle managers. Everyone could make decisions because speed was the only mode. You do not need $10 million. You need 4 people who can ship. I want you guys to type builder in the chat if you are a part of a tiny team like this, or you're looking to build a tiny team like this. Maybe it's a side project now, but I'll tell you like this. If you're building something, speed is on your side. Make sure you're running at a fast speed. The code can be built overnight. Doesn't take very much. AI agents can help you build the code too. Move with case study number 3, excuse me. Case study number 3. This is a good one as well, because it puts things in perspective for you. I graduated from Stanford and couldn't find a job, so I created my own. I turned it into a 6-figure business. A Stanford graduate, class of 2025, started applying to jobs first week of her senior year, tracked every application in the spreadsheet. Over 9 months, she had to delete the second row interview column. She was not even making it to the first round. Stanford degree, 7 years of marketing experience, and she could not land a job. 3 weeks before graduation, she filed LLC paperwork, built her own website, became the founder of her own public relations agency for writers. For a few months, she sold her clothes, sold her furniture, paycheck to paycheck, 12-hour days. Early 2026, 6-figure business, over a dozen clients. She said this: in reality, life is a series of unbalanced forces. Life is a series of unbalanced forces. Stanford could not place her, so she placed herself. Every person watching this show right now has some skill, some network, some idea, and you can monetize that this weekend if you stop waiting. You can monetize it because many of you guys who are watching this show are aged 28 to 65 plus. All right. That's a great demographic, by the way. I absolutely love you guys. 28 to about 65 plus. You have years of experience. You have ideas that you can now pursue. You have things that you always wanted to build that was a nuisance, a nuance in your career that you can build now. With just a few clicks, with just getting your ideas into AI. Stop waiting and type pivot in the chat if you are making a move this month. Type pivot in the chat. And one more thing before we move on. A 25-year-old Wall Street trader. This is a Wall Street trader, guys. I want you guys to listen to this one. This was a good article right here, too. See if I can find him. A little bit of an older one. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? I think this one right here was in the tech space. That's what it is. We'll find it. Look at that. Look at the Wade. Wade is always going to figure out how we get there. That's why I love doing a live show. Oh, here we go. I see it. I am an ex-Wall Street trader who drives for Uber and Lyft. Gas prices have me rethinking which trips I take. 25 years at Wall Street, on Wall Street, trading, making all kinds of money. He got laid off when the algorithms took over the trading floor. He told Business Insider over the weekend that now I am dealing with algorithms again as a driver. He drives for Uber and Lyft in Pennsylvania. 75 hours a week. That's a lot of driving. His gas fill-ups used to be $22. Today, it is $31. The oil squeeze is hitting the most exposed workers first. But here is what I want y'all to hear. The algorithm replaced him once. He did not pivot in time. The algorithm is coming for every desk job in America right now. The question is, are you going to pivot now or get caught at the gas pump later? Driving 75 hours a week. Make your pivots. Now, real quick, if you cannot catch the live show every single morning, 7:25 a.m. Central, subscribe to the Daily Climb newsletter. Every weekday, Monday through Friday, you get a full recap of everything that was covered in this show. Today alone, we talked about Meta's 30-day countdown, the bank case split, the bank case split, bifurcation, the minimum number that CEOs say they need, and the 3 case studies that we just went over. All of it will be in your inbox before your lunch ends. That is nextgenheights.com. Link is in the description. Free to sign up. Do it before you leave the stream today if you haven't signed up to our newsletter, okay? Let's move on to this next segment. Segment number 4. Where's the opportunities? Okay? Now, one thing that the person who emailed me back and say, "They Antoine, I tune in from time to time, but it's about the doom and gloom. But I do like that you give us solutions, though." I love that part too. I love that part because this is the opportunity audit. This is where the solutions come in now. Okay. Now I gave you solutions throughout every single segment. What is it that you can do? I just gave you a solution. You have the ideas in your head. Just do it. Execute. All right. Let me give you the macro picture first. Because tomorrow is the most important day of the quarter for careers in America. There's 3 events all hit on Tuesday. Number 1, after the market closes, Tesla reports first quarter earnings. They already missed deliveries, 377,000 vehicles, when Wall Street was expecting 396,000. Prediction markets are pricing a 38% probability that Tesla announces 3,000 or more layoffs by October. If Tesla prints weak, the entire EV supply chain freezes. Rivian, Lucid, Ford EV, battery suppliers, they all freeze. Now, number 2, before the market opens on Tuesday, United Health reports healthcare added 76,000 jobs in March alone, the single strongest hiring sector in America. If United's margin holds, the healthcare hiring boom accelerates. If margins compress, the insurance side freezes hiring. Okay. And number 3, the Iran ceasefire expires on Tuesday. If a deal gets done, oil drops back to 70. Gas prices fall 50 or so cents. Inflation starts to cool. Now, this isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to happen over a period of some weeks. But it happens. Inflation will cool and the Fed gets, room to cut. Hiring budgets may reopen in Q3. If the ceasefire breaks, oil goes back past 120. Recession probability jumps to 50%. Airlines freeze. Consumer banks tighten. Tech hiring deepens. 3 events, one day. Every one of them moves your paycheck. I want you guys to type Tuesday in the chat if you're going to be watching the Daily Climb on Tuesday, because Tuesday is going to be the triple trigger. Bow, bow, bow. That's what we're going to talk about on Tuesday, the triple trigger. I want to share a video real quick. See if there's anything about United earnings out there in Tesla earnings. Okay, let me see if I can find something on CNBC real quick. Jump over here, pop that link in. Let's see. Yeah, we got something right now.
Tesla is such a fascinating company to me because on one hand, you have a $100 billion business that is essentially flatlining right now. It hasn't grown in a couple years yet, and it's not even that high margin of a business. And we have a market capitalization of around $1.4 trillion, 14 times sales, hundreds of times earnings. In some ways, this is the most richly valued company in the stock market in some ways based on their current financials. So why does that make sense? Why am I so comfortable owning Tesla? The basket of technologies that they're developing, I think is looking like it will be increasingly relevant in the future. I mean, I've said this a few times, but we've never seen a startup of this size. Tesla's current business model of selling cars is not what you're betting on. You're betting on their ability to do robotaxi, rides as a service, and then Optimus robot. And I think play out this years to payback scenario. It's like, oh, Tesla's only making $10 billion in profit a year to pay back $1.4 trillion. We're looking at like 100 years, 140 years. That's ridiculous.
So a lot of people have been saying this about Tesla, that that's the reason why they wanted to give Elon Musk that pay package, right? It's because of the long term. A lot of the CEOs that run companies today are short-term thinking. They think in the terms of, I got to get this deal done because I need to sell the company. I got to get this deal done because I need to go IPO. They don't think about the long term. And that's what Tesla and Elon Musk is thinking about right now. They're not really worried about the car deliveries at this point in time. They're shifting their focus into other areas that's going to generate wealth over the next 10 or so years to where they can be dominant. They did the exact same thing with cars, and now they're making this transition. So if I was an investor who was just focusing on companies that are growing, I would be looking at Tesla. Well, I am an investor, and I'm not touching my Tesla because I think that it's going to continue to do very, very well. Now, short term, it's going to be some pain, especially for your individuals who are looking at trading and things like that. But I think long term, Tesla will be in a good situation, a very good situation. Let's talk about data centers. Okay, let's talk about the data center opportunities. The money is flowing right now to data centers. The CEO of a staffing firm, I want to get this one on the on Business Insider on the screen for you as well too, because this was a really good one that I came across this morning. Let's go here, tech. Drop down to careers. Where is she at? Where is she at? This is where you get the chance to go to my daily climb briefing here. All right. All my news articles are pulled up here. Unemployed, Carl Anthony Towns, moved to Spain. I got Microsoft. I'll just give you guys a story. Since it's I'm finding it a little bit challenging to pinpoint the actual article, but it's in here. It's definitely in here, and it's written around AI and a recruiter who's been in the AI space for a very long time gave a very good understanding of what's happening for data centers right now and the hiring boom that's going on right now, okay? She's a CEO of a staffing firm that works with Oracle and Verizon. She told Business Insider this weekend that her phone has never rang this much in 10 years of business for data center jobs, guys. Ain't that something? Listings are up 64% in 2 years. Entry-level technicians, $45,000 to $65,000. That's the entry level, guys. Those are the jobs that you can get directly out of college. You can hit $80,000 to $100,000 a year. Specialized electricians with data center expertise, liquid cooling, fiber cabling, $203,000 a year. And listen to this part carefully. You do not need a 4-year degree. You do not need a computer science degree. You do not need to go back to school for 2 more years. You just need a certification. You need a can-do mindset, and you need to be willing to work a night shift. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that 81,000 electrician openings are going to happen every single year through 2034. The trades are not the backup plan anymore. The trades are the main plan. Now, let me give you the headlines. Deadline 1, tomorrow, April the 21st, IBM is closing registration for a free data and AI cohort. 1 week of free training, industry recognized digital credentials, skillsbuild.org. Register tonight. Link is in the description of this video. Deadline number 2, Microsoft just launched a brand new AI certification track. The AB series, AI business professional, AI transformation leader, co-pilot and agent admin fundamentals. Some of those exams are in beta right now. Beta exams are cheaper and they give you first mover advantage on your resume. Deadline number 3, CompTIA has a 20% off code active through Earth Day. Good on Security Plus, the Network Plus, and the A Plus. Those are 3 deadlines, all active right now. $0 on the IBM cohort, okay? Type certification in the chat if you are claiming one of these this week. Type it in the chat. All right. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about something. If everything that I just broke down over the last 20 plus minutes of this show, the 30-day meta countdown window, the $200,000 data center electrician path, the Tuesday triple trigger that we're going to be talking about. And you know deep down that you cannot do this alone. You need somebody who holds you accountable. You need a coach. You need a room full of serious ladder climbers. Join the Career Accelerator 90 waitlist. This is my 12-week coaching program. Small group, maximum of 12 people. Here's the thing. The playbook that I give out for free and build for you guys for free, it shows you what to do. The Career Accelerator 90 is me making sure that you actually do the work. Weekly Saturday coaching calls, 10 a.m. Central, private Discord community, 30 plus templates and AI execution agents. The next cohort opens soon. The wait list gets first access. Do not wait for something to go wrong to get help. Get help before something goes wrong. nextgenheights.com/accelerator. Link is in the description, okay? If you want the link sent to you in the chat, just type waitlist in the chat, okay? There's a lot of people who've been asking about it. Hey, Antoine, I got to become part of the Career Accelerator 90. Yeah, you sure do. Got a great group right now in the cohort. All right. And here's the thing. If you are not ready for a coaching program, but you want weekly premium intelligence deeper than I give you on this free show, come inside the inner circle at the Heights on Patreon. You get weekly premium briefs. You get direct access to me. You get direct access to this beautiful community. You get a community of builders making real moves. Patreon.com/Black Heights. Link is in the description. Come build with us. All right. It's important to build with people who are doing it. Get the ideas from the people who are doing it. Let's go to success tracking, because I got some ladder climbers who did some wonderful things over the weekend that I need to celebrate. Okay. Some fantastic things. You know, while Meta, their countdown starts to the May 20th date, where they're going to be letting people go, while the CEO types, calculate how many people that they need in their company so that they can get rid of them, while the oil squeeze hits the gas pumps, there are ladder climbers who are building. Let me show you what happened inside this community in the last 72 hours. Friday morning, a brand new ladder climber walked into the chat. Never been here before. Financial advisor, trying to build her book of business. Okay. By the end of Friday's show, she joined the Patreon. She joined the Discord. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Central. She showed up to our weekly Zoom call, First time any of us saw her face, she was on camera. The only one on camera initially. You know, Saturday mornings, 7 o'clock in the morning, for some of my ladder climbers, we're out here on the West Coast. Some of us on the East Coast, some of us in Central Time, some of us in Mountain Time, right? Typically, I show up in the mornings. I'm ready to be on camera, but I have a sweatshirt on because it's early in the morning. Well, she showed up suited and booted, ready for the camera. Had it on the entire time. She is in the middle of a grant process to bring financial literacy to women preparing for retirement. Saturday afternoon, she watched the replay, saw another community member present, messaged him in the Discord. He has laid off ladder climbers who need their retirement accounts rolled over. She is the advisor who can do it. Partnership form inside the community on Saturday night. Same night, another ladder climber posted he is building an AI agent platform for small businesses. She read it, responded with the exact product specifications her practice needs. Text engagement, calendar booking, email follow-up. She just became a pilot inside the community. Sunday night, 8:41 p.m., assignment complete. She launched her own YouTube channel live, community turned on, first video posted, 72 hours, new member to builder. That is what we build. That's what we build. No sitting around and wondering what's happening. No sitting around and thinking that, okay, well, I need to do this, but I don't do it. She built a website in like 72 hours, built her own page, did it all in ChatGPT and Claude. Used the free versions of it as well. Came on, told her story and everything. That's listen more, talk less. She's in the chat right now. Okay? Crushed it this weekend. That is what we build. And she is one of 4 ladder climbers who shipped something this weekend. One built a fantasy football trade recommendation app using Claude Code. Another had his AI prototyping project featured in a national student showcase. Another is building his first AI agent from scratch, no tutorial, using skills that he learned in the Navy. And one more is building a multi-agent platform, and pilots are starting next week. Outside of the community, 3 more stories that matter this weekend. A 26-year-old, okay? 26-year-old applied to Microsoft for 15 months. Got rejected from Microsoft 50 plus times. Then he changed his approach. He cold messaged a former executive on LinkedIn, asked about her journey. She said she rarely got messages like that. 2 weeks later, 2 Microsoft offers in the same week. A couple in Oxford, England, built their website in 3 days using Claude Code, spent $5,000. A phone bot called 20,000 gas stations. They built it to help people find cheap gas during the oil squeeze. Their advice? Ask AI to critique your work, not agree with it. Make the AI a little rude. And I tell you one thing, that's one thing I loved about Claude, because Claude keeps it real. In the Stanford grad that we talked about earlier, who could not get hired, built a 6-figure business in 10 months. Every one of these people stopped waiting. They just went out there and executed. I want you guys to type shipped in the chat if you built something this weekend. Type shipped in the chat. And one more thing before we close out. A community member published a book in December. It is called I Am the Invitation, a 31-day journal for people who have mastered showing up for everyone else. And they are ready to choose themselves. She is a senior leader. She is in a senior leadership position, a state board appointee, a regional director of a national organization, an information technology executive. She built a career showing up for every room, every board, every team. And then she realized that the most important project was herself. She led our first Ladder Climbers book club session this weekend. Packed room. Real conversation. Replay is up on Patreon. The link for the book is in the description. You can find it on Amazon, hardcover, paperback, Kindle. This is what this community builds, not just careers, not just certifications, books, tools, agents, systems, and proof. Okay? That's what we build. We don't sit here and talk about a whole bunch of stuff that we talk about on the show and don't execute on anything. Let me bring it all home, okay? 3 things that I need you guys to take away from this show today. Number 1, May 20th is 30 days away. 8,000 jobs. And that is just the first wave. So position yourself now if you work for Meta, or get positioned for you. Number 2, the banks told you who wins. Institutional wealth trading, M&A, are in the green zone. Consumer banking, energy squeeze households are in the red zone. Pivot towards the revenue line that is winning. Always follow the winning side. It's in our human nature. That's why, everybody loves the San Antonio Spurs again. 3 years ago, when the Spurs weren't doing good without Wemby, nobody talked about the San Antonio Spurs. Now, every rec team wants to be the Spurs. Everybody loves Wemby. Follow the winning side. Number 3, tomorrow is the triple trigger. Tesla earnings, United Health earnings, Iran ceasefire expires. 1 day, 3 signals. 60 days of hiring direction. You guys need to be here for tomorrow's show. I'll be here 7 a.m. Central or 7:25 a.m. Central. Okay. We're going to be live before the United Health prints and after Tesla closes. All right. It's going to be a good show on tomorrow too. I'll bring you guys the data. Last push before we wrap up. If you watched this show today and felt stuck, guys, get the career clarity audit. Tier 2, $149, fully position yourself, full positioning breakdown, 70 or a 7-day action plan in your inbox within 24 hours. Tier 1, $79. Quick start. nextionheights.com/career clarity audit. Type audit in the chat and Cam will drop it in the chat for you guys. And one more time, if you guys miss signing up for the newsletter, nextionheights.com, go ahead and enter your information. In the newsletter, you will get a full recap of today's show in your inbox, and it will be coming to you every single weekday at 11:30 a.m. Central. Link is in the description of that as well. And if you want to go deeper into the weekly intelligence, if you want to join a community that's building, if you want to join a network that is growing and expanding, the Heights Inner Circle is on Patreon, patreon.com/Black Heights. Okay. Link is in the description of that as well, too. And if this show gave you one thing to think about today, one move to make, one idea that you had not considered, hit the like button right now. Subscribe to the Daily Climb. It helps more ladder climbers find this show by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the like button. Type subscribe in the chat if you just hit the subscribe button and you are new. Type it in the chat. Guys, listen to me. This market is hard. The numbers are brutal. The changes are coming faster than anyone predicted. The technology is being released faster than anyone predicted. I can't keep up. So I know you can't keep up. But I want you guys to remember something. Every single ladder climber winning right now did one thing in common. They stopped waiting and they stopped asking for permission and they built their own ladder. That is what this show is about. That is what the playbook is about. That is what this community is about. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys right back here on tomorrow morning, 7:25 a.m. Central. Keep climbing. This is the Daily Climb. I'm Antoine Wade. I'm out. Peace out now. Got to get to work. I got an 8:30 call that I'm 2 minutes late to. I would say what's up to my peoples. Let me know how you guys thought the show was. I'll make sure that I go and watch the chats. But let me know how you think today's show was. I got to get out of here because I'm late to a call. Take care, guys.